And welcome tonight, followers, to another episode of Star Wars: Shadows of Darkness, where our intrepid former Jedi, in some cases, or whatever they're calling themselves these days, have been moving across this wonderful swampy planet of hell. Um, they have so far dodged illusory aliens. They've dealt with the flora and fauna of the place, and dealt with the rancor of all things, which appeared to be more than it actually was. And eventually, through uh, through their dealings with some mysterious being or force, um, have found their way to an uplift of land where it's a bit drier, a bit more of the rocky crust has lifted up above the damp surface of the majority of this place. And on this rocky outcropping, they have discovered a cave. And upon approaching said cave, they had come upon Yane. Within the cave, she had most of her survival supplies, which were very meager. Her portable generator and heating source as well. The two young men rushed forward, Haish grasping her, hoping beyond hope that she was real and not some horrible, painfully drugged from his subconscious illusion. And when his hands touched her, he understood that she was actually who she claimed to be. So, and we will join our fellows by looking into the mind of Tendrick as he looks upon his brother hugging their mother.
Tindrick, uh, Tindrick rushes to embrace their mother. Uh, One of the few times you actually probably see, emotion actually cross him, and he's not at work. Um, like some very, very like hidden depth of his brain is still like, oh, this better still be real because we found illusions that seem to be real to the touch and some that don't, and I'm tired of being screwed with. But at the moment, joy has kind of overloaded the rest of the brain capacity. So at the moment, he is just happy to have his mother within arm's reach, and would embrace him and Haish at the same time.
And as Tendrick embraces his brother and his mother, we move over to Haish. And what do we see in Haish's mind as we open this scene?
Haish is at this time trying to keep it together. Haish has he's been keeping a brave face for the rest of his fellows, but kind of like simmering beneath the surface is this this agitation that this planet is unsettling him and unsettling his senses. Being a Miraluka, he's a little bit more, dare I say, sensitive to the ripple and flow of the Force and the beings in the Force that he shares the, I suppose, the wider galactic ecosystem with. Part of him has a little bit of fear, but he's able to squash that down. Another part of him, which he does not know how to process yet, finds this whole thing, this whole planet, its illusions, its dark forces here, quite literally just another flagstone for him to step across on his journey to self-perfection and enlightenment. He had made mental contact with whatever this apparition was, and he's kind of placed a geas upon himself to parlay with this thing. And he's He's excited. He's a tad bit anxious. He finally has all of his physical, maybe his emotional family now near him. Everyone seems healthy. He can now catalog that for later processing, but now his mind is on his parlay and their hopeful escape from this planet. He'll of course hug his adoptive mother and step back and let his brother and her have their moment. But at this moment, Haish's senses and his head is on a goddamn swivel.
All right. And as these brothers embrace their mother, Glault, we moved our focus on you. And what do we see in Glault's mind as this reunion plays out before him?
You see in Glault's mind that he doesn't believe any of this. He knows that the boys are excited. He knows that they believe it to be real, but he doesn't think so. He thinks that she's just an illusion. That she's a very good one, but she's still just an illusion. And so he's going to keep his eye and be ready to strike if she attempts to strike.
Okay. So the image of Yana you see before you, once you all have given your hellos, hugs, and suspicious glances, apparently, she's wearing a spacer's jumpsuit that's seen better days. Her hair, though, it's obvious that she has attempted to keep it in some kind of shape or a bun, is dirty. It is bedraggled in many ways. It's obvious that she has not seen a proper refresher in quite some time. But the smile upon her face is beaming. It's almost brighter than the light came within the cave. She holds the two boys from arm's length and says, "Let me look at you." And she notices that the bedraggledness of you guys in the skin suits, and she says, "I wish I had thought of that. That would have kept the leeches at bay at least." Come in. Come in. I have a few supplies left. We can have at least a family meal together, and then get me out of here. How far is your ship?
About that. He's just gonna look at his two companions and then just kind of smirk rather sheepishly. Mother dear, how long have you been here, and have you had any visitations?
Yeah, if you're talking about the odd creatures that live in this in this swamp, yes, that's why we wound up in this cave. There were originally 5 of us that landed here, but the other 4 at some point or another wandered off into this forest chasing some apparition or another.
Oh,
And I haven't heard. I've been by myself for 3 nights now. I've been here for at least 6.
well.
Sometimes-
According to our experiences here, however short they may be, this apparition, this shadowy thing is I have a meeting with it. We've made contact and it's holding up, and I from what I understand, in a ruin nearby, and he'll just kind of like point with his
ruin?
chin,
Like,
like
I
in
haven't
that
seen
direction.
ruins. I haven't seen your ruins.
Well,
My ship is, well, it's not very far away from here. I guess you honed in on the beacon.
we did.
I turned that on myself. Well, when the last person left, but I
Well,
haven't seen any of them at all. But I don't be left with myself here. I mean, And she looks around, and at that point, her eyes start to well up, and she starts to break down a little bit because she realizes she's not alone now, and she realizes that you boys are real. And she said, "It's been so horrifying here by myself."
We're here.
Walt is
We're
gonna
real.
mutter to Tindrick, do you think it's a good time to tell her about how her crew became Rancor food or no?
So, so as this is going on, who is closest to the entrance to this cave? She sort of pulled you boys in toward inside. Who's on watch?
That's probably Glalt.
Okay. Well,
More
maybe a
likely.
perception check real quick, please.
Walt the paranoid.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Excellent policy.
14.
Okay, you hear like a fallen branch snap somewhere out in the night, as if something stepped on it.
Walt's gonna walk outside loudly with his stick held high. He's ready to smack another head.
Okay. Okay. All right. You guys obviously notice Glalt's reaction. So, and you hear Yane from behind you. Says, "Oh no, is it another one of the specters?" And she picks up a blaster pistol that she has sitting on a like a survival container. So Glalt, you don't have any ability to see in darkness, do you?
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't think you had like any night goggles or anything like that. Okay.
No.
I don't think any that we have would fit his face.
Mhm.
Tindrick probably would have got some custom fitted, but they're probably still on the ship.
Yeah.
We can't
Oh.
be prepared for everything.
Okay.
Right.
So you realize, Glalt, almost immediately as you turn and step out and look around, that you really can't see much out there. The sounds of the swamp, the life and such, you hear splashes off. This is something heavy sliding into the water. You hear the screeches of nightlife, of creatures and such out there, hunting prey and being hunted. And that snap hasn't repeated itself. But you also realize that there's a light coming from inside the cave behind you. So most likely anything that's out there can probably see you fairly well.
You know what? There is one thing that any good Wookiee whipped,
Mhm.
any big hairy creature can default to in a case
Mhm.
like that. Intimidation.
Okay. You're going to try to be you're going to try and intimidate tonight?
He's gonna try and attack the darkness. Yes.
Yes. Intimidate
check
anything in the night.
Roll it. Roll the intimidation. Yeah, go for it.
6s explode.
Yeah. Well, only on your wild die. Only if your wild dice, but it rolls a 6.
Oh, wow.
That's 13. 13 plus 6 is 19. 21.
Okay. All right. You're being very intimidating and very looming.
Can I
Um,
can I put in here? He's this big, hairy monstrosity with a stick, and
Yeah.
he's got a light of fire behind him in a cave that's flickering, making his shadow bigger. I think I just lobbying for Glalt here. I think that should be at least 4 more die in a bonus. That just because of light.
It's not necessary. Trust me.
Oh
Um,
well. I'm
um,
sorry, Glalt. Trying to help you.
I appreciate
Oddly enough, it seems like the animal life in the area has suddenly gone quiet, as if it sensed a predator. Further off in the distance, you hear, the sounds of and go ahead, maybe another perception check. Actually, since you're all alerted to it, all 3 of you can do so.
Thank you.
So I'll do one for Yane real quick.
All right.
Oh, great.
It is a 19 on the die.
All right.
10.
Okay.
Can I roll sense life just and in these few seconds
Yes.
I have to?
Yes, you can. You can do a sense life check.
Oh,
Sense
thank
life.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. I am here for you, Glalt.
Thank you for pointing out that that's a thing.
Yeah.
And that's that's
That
a
is
worse skill for me. I'm just
that
going
is
to go
a-
with what I have.
that is a 29 on the die for my sense
Okay.
life.
All right. Tendrick, do your perception for us.
25. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll start with Glalt. As I say, Glalt, you notice that the animal life in the area right around you seems to suddenly go quiet, as if sensing a predator in the area. Haish, your force senses start tingling because you sense you sort of always sense the underlying wildlife in the area, but
Kind
you're
of like
now
a shark.
sensing-
I feel the ripple
Yeah,
of everything.
right. But you definitely feel you feel more sentient beings outside.
Hey, she'll just sit up
They're
straight
probably
and say, "We've
40,
got
you know,
company."
Probably about 40 yards from where the entrance of the cave is, which would be sort of at the edge of the escarpment that you guys climbed. And that sort of general range and area, and they're in two distinct groups. One seems to be coming from the left, one seems to be coming from the right. You can't quite pick out numbers totally, but you can definitely say that there's two groups of sentients coming your way.
Okay. Has the sun gone down yet?
Yes, the sun is down.
All
It is
right.
fully dark.
I'm gonna look at my companions and I'll say, we have company.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll my sneak and I'm gonna try and actually disappear into the
Okay.
dark here.
And Tendrick, since you have the highest roll of any of these things, you actually hear, although it's very, very difficult for you to hear, you hear the sounds of voices out there. And you can sort of get an idea that they're coming from two different directions as well. It's as if someone's speaking very quietly into a comm, maybe. You can't actually hear what they're saying, but you can definitely hear voices. So what are you three doing?
What is the light in the cave? Is it just torchlight or is it actually like a generator?
Well, what's in the cave is there is an emergency generator which generates light and thermal heat. That's sort of in the middle of the area as if where a campfire would be. It puts off like that's where that flickering orange light comes from. It's almost like a firelight. On the walls there are emergency lanterns that have been affixed to the walls in some way. They're more of a harsh white, like you would expect from like an electric type light. So the inside of the cave is fairly well lit. You also know that those lanterns are very durable as well, by the way.
Right.
They're designed to survive getting knocked around and whatnot.
Tindrick's gonna grab the rifle he has that Haish is still letting him use.
Okay.
And he's actually going to go to how far back does this cave go?
It's probably it's not really big. It's maybe 30 feet deep. It's more
This is a single chamber,
yeah,
kind of
it's
eroded.
like a single
kind of
chamber.
thing.
Yeah, it basically as if you've got an area here where some pretty large boulders at some point were deposited here, and this is sort of an area that's sort of enclosed by them. So there's no way out of the back. It definitely is a one entrance. So
All right. Tindrick is actually going to go to the back of the cave
okay,
so that essentially the light is now the generator is now in front of him.
okay,
So if they look in, they're going to see the light from the generator and the lamps before they see him.
okay,
And he's looking in his bags for if he did pack his night goggles or like a scope for the rifle to be able to see in the dark, so he can
Okay.
basically pinpoint these guys. And play sniper. He basically just wants to play sniper right now.
Okay. You if you pack the gun, you probably pack the. I'll say you probably pack the scope. So, all right.
No, Haysh would have handed the rifle over, scope and all. So I mean, he doesn't collapse it. So I mean, it doesn't have a tri-light scope on it. It's not like amazing.
Well, it's
Right.
probably has a thermal setting. So
Okay, it's the one that we got from the rebels on Corellia. If they could have given
Yeah,
me the
right.
parts
Yeah.
for it, that's what it could have come with.
yeah, it's got a thermal setting. So, I have here that Haysh has basically hidden himself, which there is a sort of as you walk into the. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do this. Let me pull this up here.
The thing is, Haysh wants to get away from the light and use the darkness.
All
Plain and
right,
simple.
so this is the interior of the cave, basically. I stole this from another thing. So you basically have the entrance here that's wide enough for maybe two people to stand side by side. You got these torches here, and where it says cook fire ashes, that's where the generator is. And then you've got like two survival kits, then a cot off to the side here. So you have this sort of area you can duck around. They'll give you some cover if you want.
I'm not in the cave.
So you're going out of the cave. Okay.
He
All
went
right.
out of the cave. Yeah.
I said that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I exited the
sorry.
cave.
Okay. So you went out the cave. So we have Tendrick back here in the back, basically. And then at the entrance of the cave, we have Glault trying to act all intimidating and stuff.
Yep.
Does that sound about right? So you're out in the darkness yourself. Haysh
Yeah,
is.
I that's what I said. He's going to use the shadows outside.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. I see now. Yeah. Cave and yeah. Exit the cave.
Go, Mr. Rogue.
All right. So
Jedi Rogue Spearhead. Yeah.
what Tendrick sees through his scope through the narrow entrance of the cave around Glault is he can see a cluster of looks like 3 individuals creeping up in the darkness out, probably as I said, probably about 10 or so meters beyond the end of the cave, right at the edge of sort of peeking over the edge of the escarpment there. They don't seem to be coming closer, as if something has halted their advance. So,
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
An angry
Oh.
7-foot Rafiki dance just going,
so
and
who has
calling
the
out an
highest
angry
perception?
weapon. Come get me!
Who has the
I think
highest
we-
perception of
I
the
think we
group?
went over this before, and I think Galot winds up going first because of another
Okay.
stat that he's higher in.
All right, so Glault, I'm going to do this a little bit different this time because I actually found the proper way to do this.
Hmm.
Roll your perception for me, and then tell you what your total is, and your wild die does explode.
15.
15. Okay, so you guys have won the initiative this round. So Glault, being the highest perception, you go first. What are you going to do?
Well,
And remember,
Um,
you didn't roll very high on your perception earlier, so you just know it's gotten quiet around here.
I will tell at least Haish because we have the telepathy thing, unless
Yeah.
Galot has telepathy.
Yeah.
I will tell Haish of the approximate positions that I've been able to pinpoint.
Okay.
Do I see? I suppose their force auras in that direction.
You do see, like right at the edge, peeking up over that that escarpment there that you guys climbed up. You do see the faint outlines of the force auras of 3 individuals.
Okay.
So,
I kind of get. I don't know exactly what the rules say about Miraluka sight, but I don't think hiding
yeah.
will mask their force aura unless they know how to do that
Yeah. Well, it's just like
spiritually.
basically,
I don't know what the word for that would be.
well, if there is things blocking your direct side of them, you can't see them. And
Oh,
they don't
really?
they don't project a light around an object that they're hiding behind per se.
Well, that's
um,
kind of silly. Okay.
But in this case, it's just like basically you see them on basically line of sight still works, put it that way.
All right.
And
I
yes,
just see a few heads.
yeah, you basically the tops of head sort of picking up over the top.
Okay.
Escalal.
May I use my perception to try to sense where Haish is?
Yeah, you can use sense. You're going to use sense force.
Yes,
Okay.
which is a control for me.
Yes. Well, sense force would be sense.
Oh no, I had it labeled as control for some reason.
Yeah, anything that senses anything outside of you is sense.
Thank you for that 6. 6, 12,
Okay, that's right.
20.
Okay, yeah, you know exactly where Hage is.
All right, in that case, enhance attribute.
Okay.
I was wondering when that was coming.
Which attribute are you going to enhance?
Oh, thank you. I feel. That.
Well,
Nice. Oh,
I know Haish really likes to whack people in the head as much as I do.
Haish is a little bit. Oh, we're gonna get some.
Haish, just because I would know this, but my mind is drawing a blank. What skill do you use to go choppy with your light stick?
Lightsaber combat.
My light stick. I don't
Like
have
I
one of
said, I
those.
Drew a mind blank.
Okay.
Light stick quacky bats. That's the skill.
I suppose that's lightsaber combat. That's
And that's under dexterity, right?
Sense and yeah, that lightsaber is under dexterity. Okay, I was confused.
Cool.
as
I'm
hell.
gonna enhance his dexterity, and that is a control skill for me that I've enhanced further with an extra 1d plus 1. So I'm
Okay.
technically rolling 8d plus 1 on that
All
skill.
right. So make that roll.
Oh God. Okay.
Which Emperor, looking through my stuff again,
Thank
he
you.
actually was able to acquire an ultrasonic sighting system.
Okay.
So it's actually slightly better than the scope that would have came stock, but just
Okay, that works. Then yeah, you're
It-
definitely getting an ultrasonic echo off of the 3 moving basic
Yeah.
heads at the edge of that escarpment.
it is also unaffected by heat sources or too many confusing signals.
Mhm.
That
So
works. So
For anybody watching the game online, this is my handy dandy calculator. Mm,
You have to get you a bucket for how many dice you gotta throw. I'll buy you one
the
from
size
Home
of my
Depot.
head.
I love Home Depot buckets.
Oh yeah.
right.
4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. And then the 6 exploded, so I need to roll
Mhm. 1 6.
6 again.
Okay, roll again.
So that's 39 plus 6 plus
5.
6 plus
Okay.
53.
I just
So-
everyone sit tight. Haish will kill everyone. Just one moment, please.
You'll be adding 5 dice to your dexterity. For this thing.
Oh,
So, yeah. So you are very,
Yikes.
very, super agile, dude. You're going to be turning into
12.
Yoda in Attack of the Clones. And if you don't, I will be very upset. So
Oh, okay. Hang on. Oh God.
Question.
yes.
Is there a way that since I'm not moving and I'm not doing anything else,
Yep.
and I know exactly where Tindrick is.
Yeah.
Hi, Tindrick. You want a boost?
You can't necessarily use the same force power twice in one turn.
All right.
But you can do that next round. And at this point you can move, you can do, if you need to get out of the way or whatever you can.
You know what? In that
Whatever you're gonna do.
case. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Mhm.
I think I am actually going to use sorry, looking at my skills here because I have an entire separate document of my skills that I have to go
Yes.
through every time I want to do something. Sorry.
That is the way
Sorry,
the-
Haish.
that is the way the Star Wars is. Yes. So
I'm gonna go ahead and use transfer force to
Okay.
Tindrick so he can enhance himself.
okay. So you're going to transfer a force point to Tendrick?
Yep.
Okay, so, okay, make your roll.
It's 10 dice.
Okay, I'm not, in that case, don't roll. You don't need to. Tendrick, you get a force point.
Thank you.
We're gonna be here for another hour if we
Yeah, so at this point, I mean, there's really no point because it's a easy and that's 10. Difficulty is 10, so you can't roll below that. So Tendrick gets a free force point and Galt loses a force point. All right. So, and with that, we hear the first action from the other side because we alternate back and forth, of course. So, Galt,
Oh God.
one of those, so in your case, silence out there, pops up and fires a shot off at you. So, you can do mid dodge if you'd like,
The darkness is attacking.
or you have the option if you choose to not dodge and do absorb dissipate energy, you can do that instead. It's up to you.
I'll take
So-
absorb, dissipate. I got it as a skill.
All right. So you're not going to dodge at all. All
Nope.
right. Then make me a absorb dissipate energy test.
Wait, do I have absorb, dissipate? Oh, I do not. I will dodge.
Oh, then dodge. Yes.
Yeah, no.
And this will be a difficult test. A difficulty of 20.
he's a pretty good deadeye, is what you're saying. That's
Well,
what I'm
he's rolled
hearing.
well.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and he also
So-
has Galalt also backlit by the light too.
I used all my luck on you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Crit fail.
All right. So
damn it.
now, okay. In any case, roll your strength plus the armor you have to be wearing.
He's wearing armor.
Yeah.
If you happen to be wearing armor. So
Walt's
Oh.
always had armor.
Really?
He's always had that chest plate since game one.
that's
You guys
right.
remember?
That is true.
I don't remember. Oh, good news.
2 armor.
Okay. All right.
You had 2 dice to your strength.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20.
All right. So you are, as this blast hits you, the bolt basically impacts your breastplate, leaving a nice little scorch mark there. And you are effectively stunned, which means that you're at -1d for all actions this turn. So for the rest, or until the end of your next turn, I should say. So basically, it's ow, that kind of thing, for distracting. Back over to our side, we which of Haish or Tendrick is higher in perception?
And Tindrick is.
Okay. So
We went
Tendrick-
over this last time. He narrowly beats me.
So Tendrick, you see this shot coming out of the darkness of Galalt. You see this through your sight that this being is what fired at Galalt. So
Oh, well, I guess we're doing a retaliatory shot then, aren't we?
yeah, if you wish.
I'm assuming since I've been basically spending the turn aiming, I can use concentration.
Yes, you may use concentration.
Let's see here. I could freaking do math today. 8, 14. So 19 on a control check.
Okay. That gives you your dice for your 4 dice for your control. For your,
2D, and I get an extra D, 3. All right. Lots of numbers. Eleven, 15, 20. 40. 58.
58.
Yep.
All right. And what? And so roll your damage for your blaster, sir. Is it a whole bunch?
It's a whole bunch.
Okay,
20,
you see one of the
30,
figures
40. Yeah, that's 50
nailed.
points of damage.
get nailed pretty much center mass of what would be the head, and it disappear. And you all hear the sound of something tumbling down that escarpment. So, all right. Since Galt is the only one who is visible, Galt is being shot at again by the other person. So
Nice shooting,
Don't
Tex.
they don't even stutter, huh?
no, well, no, it's this is all happening simultaneously.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So basically these two are firing on Galt while the other one basically is getting the bolt shot in his face.
Yeller and tank. Yay.
Are you going to dodge this one?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Oh, it's just my worst skill.
You gotta get that absorb dissipate energy. It's only a control skill.
It costs a lot for my control at this point. 5. I
All
only
right.
have 3 dice in it.
Roll that. That's fine. Roll that. Roll that strength plus your armor.
That's easier for me. Now you roll well.
Okay.
18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. 30. 31.
All right. So as this thing hits you, because of your fur, it basically doesn't actually hit you. It hits your fur, and you smell the scent of singed fur as this bolt goes basically just below your just under your left arm. So back up to Haish.
I'm enjoying the light show here.
Oh yeah, this now that these blaster bolts are going off, you're seeing the flashes of those. You're seeing these figures sort of like
Uh-huh.
up just at the top of the escarpment with blaster rifles.
How many are there in total?
Well,
in
you
our
see-
firefight?
You see 2 now that are right there, but you
that's
did get
just
that
the-
sense earlier that there's another group of 3 somewhere nearby as well.
I'm actually gonna try and look in that direction. Probably see if I can cast my senses off in that direction.
Well, it's not hard. They're behind you. As you look behind you, above like where the stones are piled up from at the cave, they're coming from above. You see them like up above, almost as if they're about to start shooting down on Hayes or on Galt.
Okay.
See them there. Yeah.
In orientation to me, are they above me and to my left, directly above me, above me to my
Which-
right?
Which way did you go when you went out of the cave mouth? Left or right?
He went to his right.
Okay. Then they are going to be back towards your left. They're almost directly above the cave mouth. They are above. You could probably get there with a good jump.
Well, I probably would get there with an excellently placed force jump, but
Yes.
can I
Uh-huh.
essentially vault from where I'm at and actually attack all 3 of them?
You could. Now, the way that you'd have to split your attacks, and the way that works is that you'll be doing multiple actions. The way multiple actions work is you reduce all of your tests for that round by 1 die per additional action. So if you're going to do 3, like a jump, and then jump wouldn't count, but the 3 attacks would be all at -2 die.
Really? Only
Yes.
2? All
Yes.
right. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm gonna concentrate while I do this.
Okay.
My concentrate is control, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. Oh shit. That is a 30, a flat 30.
All right, so
Oh
you
my
get to
God,
add
that's right.
4 die to one skill of your choice, sir.
All right, that'll be my lightsaber for this. My God, this is gonna be so mean.
5 from Galal and 4 from concentration. So you have 9 extra dice.
These guys are done.
Probably.
Uh, what do you want me to roll for my jump? You used
Well, you
force
do,
push last time,
your,
right?
you do your roll. You do your test for your altar for your force push. I believe you had to roll above a 15 for that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's easy. I got a 17 here.
Okay, so yeah, so you're able to do that, and that will get you basically up to land next to next to where they're at. I'm not going to make you roll because your dexterity is flipping out of crazy out of this world right now.
Can I just make my attack roll and just
Make your attack
describe how
roll.
pretty it is?
Well,
Yeah, go. I'll tell you what. I'm not even going to make you actually roll for those because all the dice you have. Give me a
Oh,
good
come on. Can I
let him roll.
roll. Make your roll, sir. Make your roll. Roll the.
See how pretty the number can get.
Yeah.
So how's it feel, a master Jedi?
Yeah.
Master Mystic. He's not a Jedi.
Oh no. I would be an arch mystic is what I would be. If I can keep all my shit on the table. $62.
Okay. Tell me how you slaughter these guys, and make it epic.
Haish is basically taking this situation in at a glance because he doesn't have an hour and a half to do all this, and he is comfortable in his heart of hearts knowing that, all right, Glalt's a tough guy. He has this forward confrontation well in hand, but Haish is pretty certain that he's not keeping an eye above himself. So Haish, what he'll do is he's crouched kind of like in the tall grass there, just watching these bolts go back and forth and go, oh no, we're not having any of that. And he'll stand, he'll smile to himself. He goes, I really like how this feels. And he'll just, it'll be for the audience's perspective. He is there in the low light, like the dying light of like that orange after dusk hue on the horizon there. He's there. There's like a pinprick extending light from the end of his light pike as the blade extends, and he's there, and then he is not. There is you blink and he is gone, and he is vaulted, and with the hum, there is this yellow arc. There are 3 like distinct sounds of like blade connecting on metal, on fabric, and then maybe that grinding sound of lightsaber burning through bone, and he vaults like a gymnast up, lands, sticks it like an Olympic gymnast, and 3 bodies just thud, 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 limbs everywhere in Glalt's midst. Like they're like 4 or 5 feet, and he's there. He's taking it like a man, getting hit in the chest, and then it's just raining body parts.
It's a grisly rain.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh
yeah. So yes, as this happens and this your lightsaber ignites, you actually hear from out along where that ridge line is, you hear does anybody speak Bocce?
I don't speak Bocce.
I have a translator.
Okay, well, your translator probably will automatically pick it up because it's not quiet. And
Holy shit!
You actually hear Jedi, and then your perception, Tendrick's view, sees this one little head that one left duck and just go down. You hear the sound of a body tumbling down that escarpment. As this person just gets the hell out of Dodge.
Oh, can I still tag him?
And you have
He's getting-
to do so. You have to actually move out of the cave, because at this
Mike,
point,
leave the cave and take the shot. We can't
everybody
have
knows where it's at,
witnesses.
and you're actually are hearing this figure yelling this at the top of his lungs as you hear feet beating as he's heading away.
Question.
You'll
Yes,
hear
yeah.
Haish's voice in your mind, brother. What is he saying?
He's freaking out because he thinks you're a Jedi.
How dare he?
Yeah, if
Get
Tindrick has to
him.
leave the cave, Tindrick will go to the mouth of the cave. And for anyone who's ever watched League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Mhm.
the shot at the end,
Well,
Tindrick will do the very slow breathing and he will take the shot.
As
okay.
as Tindrick runs past, Glulch is going to slap him on the back and enhance attribute.
Go ahead and make
Nice.
your roll, Walt.
Give it to me, Galt. Come on.
Alrighty.
7 dice.
Give us that love. Come on now.
Not a problem. 1 second here.
Yeah.
Let's see, enhance attribute. No, my pity. Let's see, enhance attribute is extra. Oh god, they love you. I can tell you that right now. 6, 12, 18.
So he dies terribly.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45.
Just
46,
ballpark it.
47, 48, 49.
If it is over 45, you probably succeed.
Yeah.
The 6 just keeps exploding.
Okay.
Just ballpark it.
Let's
We're
let's
up
limit
to
it-
53 and it's another 6.
let's leave that at 53 then, and we'll just say that's that, and give Tendrick 5 dice to his attribute that you're enhancing, which is whichever one you enhanced.
I'm assuming dexterity.
Whatever you need to shoot.
That'd be dexterity. So
Jesus. It's going to be a really big number. That's what I'm telling you. right
So
Yeah.
I can't dodge. I can absorb
mhm.
and I can enhance attribute, and that's about it.
It's called being a buffer. Oh yeah. So
Oh god, I'm a bard.
Best class.
okay.
The best class.
What do I enhance you guys by my wonderful musky smell?
No. No. Oh.
And now
Just
it's gonna be
go.
burnt fur too.
Oh God, this guy's going to regret even saying anything. That was a 90.
Kill him. All right.
Holy
All right.
shit.
So
That's without using the force point.
describe to me how you take this guy out with a very, very, very precise shot, and what specific organ in his body you targeted.
All right.
His voice
Because
box.
the cool thing is with the whole with the Sonic system thing, I actually basically see like an actual like 3D image of this guy in like real time. It's actually really fucking cool. Like I said, end of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen where he takes that shot from like really fucking far away. If Glot probably sees him, I don't know if Hayes can actually see him from the vantage point. I'm assuming he can.
Yeah.
But you'll see Tindrick come out, and he's gonna like prop up against the side of the cave wall right there for like his shoulder. He's gonna bring the rifle up, and not quite, but at least to Tindrick, the entire world's gonna stop for a moment.
Okay.
Like at least in his mind, like he's going for like almost like the bullet time mechanic. And for probably longer than you think necessary, they're actually going to see him not breathe
Okay.
as and he's like letting this guy run. Like he's running, he's screaming, he's running, he's screaming. And as soon as he gets like up on top of this escarpment, up on this hill, and his head pops up one more time, that's when only thing you hear is you hear that click.
Yep.
And Taylor's going to send this bullet going. And he's timing because, like I said, he's watching like this body actually go. And he's actually going to do it. So he actually takes him through the spinal cord and right through the vocal cords.
Okay. So this bolt hits, and you're hearing this thing scream, and literally mid-word it ends. and so for Haish is at his vantage point, he can see down below there, and he sees this figure just topple forward, just mid stride, and just skid to a stop in the mud. What Haish also sees is what's just beyond that, as the ground slopes down toward the water, is you see another group of about 4 down there. These guys aren't being as quiet as these other guys were. You see what might be headlamps, and of course, at this point, Tendrick can see them too with his optical, or with his scope. These things are, whoever these are big. They're Glault size. And from what Haish can see from up there, he sees lights glinting off metal, and these things sort of this body sort of skids to a stop just a few feet in front of them. You see them, they sort of look down, and then something bellows. And Glault, this is a challenging bellow.
Oh, I respond.
And at the same time, Haish specifically hears in his head, "No, don't interfere." And suddenly the sky, which is that beautiful starry sky above, goes dark with clouds, and you hear the rumble of thunder.
What voice was that?
That was the voice of the being that you've been speaking with occasionally, that you have to deal with, who's not going to interfere with you coming to him. And that command didn't seem to be directed at you. It was almost like you overheard it.
Haish will probably just mumble whatever into the darkness is response to that. Will you take care of them for us then?
And you don't hear a reply, but at that point it starts raining heavily.
I'm basically going to take that as a non-verbal affirmation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Haish is thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, Glault, you're immediately wet. You actually the sound of this water hitting your breastplate and sizzling on that one spot where the blaster heated it up. That's going to be a nasty mark on that breastplate.
And I kept it nice this whole time.
And over the sound of this deluge of downpour, you hear the sound of stomping feet running towards you. So
Haish is going to extinguish his lightsaber and probably take another knee.
you're gonna have Tendrick, you have to take a round to adjust your scope because of the rain. To just adjust for basically you can shoot regular without the scope's benefit, but until you get it adjusted for the rain, it's because of the
You said
it's a lot very quickly.
You said feet are running towards us,
Yeah, coming from below. Yeah, the slap of something heavy.
and they did a challenging bellow towards me.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I'm gonna charge him.
Okay, so you're charging forward. Okay.
Claws.
Okay, you're gonna use claws.
Mm-hmm.
He's got martial art, don't he?
Yes, he does.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
He's fine.
All right. So, are you going to leap off the escarpment down at them?
Yes.
All right. So
You don't
Hayes
challenge
is
me over my
Yeah.
brothers. You don't.
you know. All right, so you leap off this escarpment down, and as you get closer to these beings, it's gotten very dark. So how are you going to try to know where they're at?
Smell.
You use your sense of smell.
Sense of smell.
Okay, well, make me a perception roll.
I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had to shake the die and I lost a 6 and went down to a 4 because it was cattywampus. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay, you can sense so the immediate waters making it difficult to really determine exactly where they're at.
Mhm.
But what you get is a sense of metal and lizard.
Transdotions.
And so because of the fact that you didn't roll above a 20, you are going to be negative dice for an attack because you really can't know exactly where they're at.
That's fine. I'll
So
take it.
you'll be at -2 a dice on your attack. So so if you'd like to attack one of them, go for it.
Leaping claws.
Okay, make your attack.
They made the mistake of sending something after the ones I now call brothers. They don't get to live.
Okay.
Claws is strength plus 1d. So
Yeah. So do your strength plus 1 to get to all you gotta do. Well, it's martial arts attack.
yeah,
You roll your attack first.
which is 3d. So
Okay, so you roll your 3D.
and how many did you say it's minus?
-2. Because
All
of
right. Can I enhance that with concentration at all or no?
most definitely can. You haven't used a force power yet this round.
I will definitely do that
Do it.
because that's control, which is my best skill.
So roll control, please.
5, 10. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 34.
34. Okay, so you do have your +4 to your martial arts. Yeah, to your martial arts.
So
So
it's plus 2.
so plus, yeah, 2 + 2 what you already have. So make me an attack.
So 5.
Okay.
Shit. 10, 22, 23, 28.
All right. Your blow lands.
Nice.
Roll me your damage.
All right, which is just the 3d plus 1 because 3d plus 1d because I didn't enhance myself.
Right.
So 4 dice. Thank God I got a 6 on that. Otherwise, this would suck right now. Because it went 1, 2, 3, 6. So 9 and then a 6.
Okay.
And a 5, so 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, your blow lands, but you feel your claws just skate across armor. And you find yourself, now that you're close enough, you find yourself eye to eye, standing full height with reptilian eyes,
So
with a very reptilian grin.
So 7.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you see the shadows of 2 others directly behind him.
Well, Claude's gonna do the only thing he can think of right now.
And you hear the hum of a vibroblade kicking on.
He's gonna say the only thing he can think of.
Mhm.
Fuck. For the end of his turn, that's how he's just gonna hit it.
And he's going to attack you back. And then we'll back up to Tindrick after this.
I could do it.
So make your dodge. So
Which is just dexterity for me.
okay.
4.
All right. The vibroblade catches you. Roll your strength plus armor.
Oh, 5 dice. Can't dodge, but I can soak. Oh God, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 6. That's 14. 17.
All right, barely as this vibro blade comes across and you go to dodge back, this vibro blade carves a line across the front of your breastplate, just below your throat, and throwing up sparks. As this guy sweeps around, you beat him by 1 damage wise. So you take no damage at this point. So Tendrick, you just saw Glalt go jump down. I said you're having to adjust your scope, or at least let your scope adjust for 1 round because of the rainfall. So what are you going to do?
I can still take a shot just without the sonic assistance.
Yep.
So can I see? I'm assuming I can see all 3 of them from here.
You already you had you used Sense Life earlier, right?
No, I did not. I just used perception before.
Okay. Well, these guys, they're out there because Glalt was basically charged out that way, but you really can't see them. So
I can do a sense life real quick.
You could, yeah.
Because I have life detection.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
22.
Yep, that is enough to actually be able to. Yeah, you can sense them through the force. Yes, you see, sense 3 large creatures down there with Glalt. So you can actually use that as your sight if you wish.
Okay.
So you basically don't have the penalty of not being able to see them.
Okay. Well, since I don't know exact positionings, I'm going to do one of the ones that are slightly behind off to the side. I'm assuming it's Glalt, the one guy, and the other 2 are like,
yeah, sort of off to the side behind them. Yeah.
I'll take a pot shot at one of those guys.
Okay.
Oh, let's see here.
They still have their bonuses, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Three, 40, 50, 70.
Jesus.
That's going to be a hit. Roll your roll your damage there, sir.
What?
44.
All right. You hit this thing fairly solid, and it actually knocks it back, and it goes down to 1 knee, but it does not go all the way down.
Wait,
Ooh.
what?
Ooh, these beefy boys.
Oh, crap.
So, all right. The other one that's down there with Glalt is going to see his friend sort of drop, and he's going to roar and charge Glalt to attack him. As you're right there.
You can save me, right?
I'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Make a dodge, I take it.
Did you do a dodge?
I
Yeah,
should
but-
just have it rolled and ready.
Yeah, do your dodge. It's a melee. Coming at you with a vibro blade.
10.
10. Okay. He does make contact with you. So roll your Roll your strength plus your armor.
$11.
Okay. All right. That is gonna, that one actually, the blade actually comes seeing in and actually starts to skip across the breastplate like you've been doing, but then it finds purchase and it actually wounds you. So you are considered wounded. You are at -1 to all actions. It actually is going to knock you prone. So just a description of wounded is wounded characters fall prone and can take no action for the rest of the round. You suffer a penalty of -1d to skill and attributes until you heal, either through med pack or natural rest, or of course force powers.
Force powers.
If you can't do anything else this round, basically, what Hayes sees is you see Glalt go crumple down. So now that doesn't necessarily mean that you go all the way to the ground, like you're lying on the ground. You go down to one knee. But basically, you're in a position where you're not going to be, in a positive location at the moment. So, all right, Hayes.
Well, Haish has been pushing up this whole time. With, I suppose, with the scene here, if there's a kind of a periodic gust of wind that goes through the scene, Haish will advance basically on that melee, and with his steps, like if he's got to like step through like a bunch of puddles and make sound like splish splish splish, he'd actually wait until there is like a rumble of lightning overhead, so it actually covers up him advancing.
Okay.
He's essentially doing the advancing with cover under fire kind of tactic.
Okay.
His lightsaber is off at this point.
All right.
Because you can't be quiet holding a light stick. You can't.
Yeah, especially when it hums really loudly and makes noises when you move.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
So-
it's
When
bright.
Rain makes a sizzle sound on it.
Oh yeah, no,
There is that
we're being quiet. He's being responsible here. So Haish is in the tall grass, crouching about 15 feet away as Glalt takes that hit. And in those seconds, and probably as that blow was landing, can I use detect life or life detection?
Yeah, you can.
Because I want to see how many combatants are.
Yeah.
In Haish's mind, they're not going to stop coming. He
Yeah.
needs to be basically their mystic advanced recon, making sure that they're what all they're fighting. So that's just flat sense, right? It's not anything else.
Sense.
Okay, I'll just fucking throw my die all over the place. That is a 22.
All right. So you sense the three that are down below. Now, sometimes when you do sense life, you get a little bit additional information that is relevant.
Well, I shouldn't be above them anymore. I should be in
Well,
the midst.
okay,
at this
remember
point.
you were on top, you're above the cave. Then there was a flat area in front of the cave. Then there's an escarpment that goes down that you guys had to climb up. They're at the bottom of the escarpment.
Right.
So are you gonna
I should
stop?
have been advancing this whole time.
Okay. So you're
By
going to go
now.
you're at the bottom of the escarpment at this point. Okay.
I by the time this happens, I should have been moving, is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
That's
If
why
you're
I
still- if
messaged
you're
you in
still
chat
moving, so-
saying,
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, I had in mind sort of. I'm still on top of the escarpment, going down as
no,
positively
no.
was. That's okay. So yeah, once you're down there, you see these three that are around Glalt. You get the sense from the sense life that these three they're closely related.
well, that's fine.
You get the sensation of like you and Tendrick, or even
Oh.
closer than you and Tendrick, on a certain level. Beyond them, out in the where the trees and such are right by the out of the swamp there, you sense another 6 that seem to be holding back. So, and then beyond them, you of course sense the rest of the swamp and such. You're also getting something that's odd. You're getting spots of hollowness that are near that back group. It's like spots where life isn't, specifically and very distinctly isn't.
Are
And they're about the size of 10 people.
I don't really have the time to, but I'm gonna shit. Trying to keep this all within like the seconds that I have. Can I have like, I don't know, a flash of brilliance, like he's remembered something?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. This isn't obviously in real time, but
Mhm.
in the compressedness of this scene, Hayes is actually going to make a scholar test.
Okay.
Okay. It's a 29.
Okay.
Hayes is familiar with the story of the Jedi exile Mitra Surik.
Okay.
He knows that in the history of the many different Jedi orders that at least that he's read about, holes in the Force do exist.
Uh-huh.
They're rare, but
Right.
they do exist. Is this feeling that he is getting similar, or is that how those beings are described in
Not
the
exactly,
history?
but
Okay.
you did read something in the holocron that you had experienced something in the holocron that actually relates to this.
Okay.
Apparently, some few thousand years ago, during the last Jedi Sith War, one of the Sith had found a way to, well, of course, you have the whole issue of Force Ghosts.
All right.
The Sith had their own version,
Is it a force? Is that force hole?
but the thing is that the Sith's version cannot manifest without something to manifest into.
Oh,
And
they
the
have
way
to
this
possess
person
something.
the way this scholar described it, most commonly was the body of a fallen comrade.
Oh.
And they sensed, according to him, like they weren't there, as they're almost like they were anti-life.
Kind of like
And
force
literally,
undead
as you
things
as
then,
you
okay.
as you sense that Galt and Tendrick both see this, because it's hard to hide. You see 5 red lightsabers ignite in the distance.
Oh yes.
And then you also hear in your mind, once again,
Yes.
no,
Sorry.
I said
Yes.
don't interfere.
Yes. He may say don't interfere, but this is what we have been waiting for. I don't think we're
Oh.
gonna let them get away.
Hayes has an erection now. Oh. He's-
Do I have permission to like quietly
Tendrick is
turn
gonna
on
need more
Duel of the
dice.
Fates in the background?
If I had if in your head, that's fine.
Thank you.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
don't play it though. So you do notice also that the now illuminated barbells that are around you, Glalt, look over their shoulder. And even though they have reptilian faces, you can sort of read the surprise and sort of worry on those faces as they look back toward those red lightsabers.
Oh, we've been waiting for this.
So hey, for that information, what is your action, sir?
Hayes is going to pounce on these 3 when their backs are turned.
Okay.
And that, simply put, that's there's no obviously Hayes is going to do it gracefully, but there's no braggadocio here. He's going to be very efficient lightsaber wielding Cuisinart.
Okay.
I still
Are you
have
gonna-
my bonuses, right?
Yeah. Are you going to split your dice for 3 attacks?
Yes, I will. Like it's gonna matter. They're all gonna die.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that one took a blaster bolt pretty good to the chest and didn't go down. So
Oh my goodness gracious. Thanks, Lynx.
No problem.
Right. You know, it's really easy when you split all of your die into like groups of 12.
Yeah. Anybody who's ever played a D&D game where you cast fireball, you learn skills like that.
Oh yeah, no,
That's the
I
only
I
reason.
pair them up for expedite. That is a 53.
You definitely land the blow. Roll me your damage dice for that, sir.
The blow. We're hitting all
Oh.
3 of them here.
Oh, okay. Well,
That yeah, no.
So,
This,
so Ray, roll me damage for each of the 3 of them.
okay. Does a light pike lightsaber is a lightsaber's lightsaber, right?
Yeah, lightsaber's lightsaber. 5D,
Okay.
5D is what it does.
Oh, it's 5D. Oh shit.
5D.
Okay, excuse me. I
believe
thought
so.
it was 4D.
No.
It's 5.
Well, then give me 1 second here while I update my character sheet. That's
Okay.
silly of me. 4D. Does the legacy saber do less damage?
No, it shouldn't. It's just a light. I think you had practice sabers early in the game, which
Right.
gave you less damage. That's probably what it was. So
That's probably why. Yeah, okay. Because I was wondering why 4 is probably a typo. Oh my goodness. The first attack. $27 for the first attack.
okay.
$22 for the second attack.
Okay.
And 22 again for the third attack.
So you hit these guys solid on.
Good.
The one who's on his knee drops. You basically cut right through him.
Nice.
The other 2, as you go to hit them, you hit them dead on, and your lightsaber bounces. Whatever armor they're
What?
wearing, your lightsaber bounces. Whatever armor they're wearing seems to be resistant to it. And also, they had really, really high. This is their deal to their damage. But yeah, they you've not encountered this before. Lightsabers cut through everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and yeah, they you do see fear as they rear back, and you see these things are the only part that you're not that's uncovered on them is their head. Their body is fully encased in metal.
Okay. I guess that's my turn then. I don't have the ability to
Okay.
make another attack unless
So, all right. Yeah. So that's you did take one of them down though. So, and now Glault with that light understands why your claws sort of skittered off of these guys.
Oh yeah.
So, you see in the distance these red lightsabers begin to rise and fall and blaster bolts as these. Basically, all you can really see from the distance is with the light flickering the way it is. It's a bit confusing, and with the rain coming down, is figures, shadows, the occasional flash of a figure with a blaster rifle or a blaster pistol, and the sound, the whisper and hum and whoosh of these lightsabers as they rise and fall. You do though, and specifically Tendrick sees this. And Yane fires her blaster pistol down at the these Barabels. Let's see. 14. Air resistance. Okay, and her blaster bolt hits this this armor and just it pings off, much like your lightsaber did. And she yells, "Get away from my boy!" So, all right, back to the top there, Glalt. You are, as I said, you're down 1 die on everything. You hurt. This blade cut into you pretty. That wound is burning.
So I have a plan for something,
Okay.
and it's going to involve 2 force powers. And
Okay.
if I have to pop my force point to attack afterwards, I will. Because Glalt sees these red flashes, just starts grinning like a loon, looks at the barbell and says, "We got better things to do than mess with you right now."
Right.
And will accelerate healing on himself
Okay. All right.
because he can do that.
You verify what that actually does.
And he can either do that or reduce injury.
Okay. You would know that right now, reduce injury is probably the better of the two.
Oh, he'll do that without a problem.
Okay. All right. So make
And
your
it's a
roll.
control skill.
Yeah.
10,
Basically, it doesn't reduce the
1,
actual wound. It just makes you be able to ignore it.
30.
Okay. So yeah, you ignore it. So you don't have the negative to it. And then anything else you're going to do?
Yeah.
What's
He's
that?
going to boost himself.
Okay.
He's going to boost his own skills
Okay.
with enhance attribute.
All right. Okay. Make your roll for that.
Ow.
Mhm.
6, 12.
And what attribute are you going to boost?
He's boosting his strength to claw straight through their armor.
Okay.
Also
Armor
helps his
ain't-
armor checks.
Yeah. Helps absorbing damage.
Yeah, it ain't gonna matter that they have armor at this point. That's 12, 18. So that's 3 because I have 8. 18. 28. 38. 38 plus 6. Can somebody give me that?
38 plus 6 is going to be
44.
40. Yeah, 44.
$52.
Okay, so 5 dice to your strength. All right. Okay, are you going to do a reduced attack on someone this round, or since you're basically focusing on doing that, I would assume you probably wouldn't be able to.
No, he's gonna stand up and just look at him
Okay.
and say, Tindrick, Aish, you guys go after the red. I got these guys.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, the first one is glancing between Haish and Glalt, and he is actually going to turn and lunge to Haish because you killed his companion.
Okay.
So you can do a dodge, or you can do a if you want to use melee to do a parry, you can.
My dodge is better.
Show that fancy footwork.
Fancy it is. Uh, 46.
Okay, with that skill, you're literally able to just move just a bit. As
Oh
this
yeah,
guy
no,
will blade-
I'm gonna make him seem as clumsy as possible.
Yeah.
I
So, yeah.
move an inch out of the way.
Yeah. So yeah, and that blade basically runs past you, doesn't even clip a hair on your body. And that would be now Tindrick. What are you up to, sir? You see there's two still going on down there, and then whatever's happening off in the distance.
All right, so by now my sonic imaging has come back up.
The Sonic image is up. Here's
Also much fun.
I'll give you an interesting view because I'm assuming you're probably looking at the different areas. Down below, you have the two large creatures that are the size of Galalt.
Yep.
With the light now, you can tell. You guys can tell they're Barbells in very heavy armor. When you focus out to the other melee that's going on off in the swamp, you now see 4 people, but you're not picking up what's wielding the lightsabers. They're not showing up on your scope. You're not sure why. It's like your scope is trying to say their background noise.
And that would take some very interesting things to make that work.
Yeah, but basically it's like trying to say, oh, that's a tree, that's a rock with a lightsaber. That kind of thing. That's sort of like the logic, internal logic is confused there. So
the things with the blasters, those look like more of the barbells, like more of the
no,
7.5.
these don't look to be the size of the barbells. They look what regular sized individuals. You can sort of get an idea. One of them is a you see a Celestin, you see a Darrow, what the heck is he called? Well, yeah, but let's put it this way: they're not barbells. But tell you that these guys aren't the big bad guy, the big guys like you get the feeling these guys in the front are probably the bruisers.
Right.
This group. This is the heavy guys you send in when you want to intimidate people and whatnot.
Brother, this is going to be telepathy for a split moment. Whatever's wielding those lightsabers isn't showing up on sensors.
I'm aware.
Okay.
You leave them to me.
Okay. With that, and even though Galalt said leave these guys to him, I can now see Galalt and see that he was damaged, more than likely. So I am actually going to take a pot shot at the non-leader one. I think the one that tried hitting Haish. And I'm actually going to go for a headshot because it's unarmored.
Okay. That is going to be, I'll give you a penalty of -2 dice because it's a cold shot, basically.
Also, before that, I'm going to do, can I do intuitive tech when I'm doing the blaster rifle or no?
It wouldn't really help you with that. It's like if you're trying to repair something or trying to manipulate something, we're not necessarily able to blaster.
Okay. $16, 31, 46, 50, 60, 80. Jesus. 93.
All right. He is not going to dodge that, so you are going to hit him.
I said, if he can dodge that, we got some issues.
He does not get his armor bonus with that, so because you shot him in the face. So still roll well.
$12, 18, 24, 28, 30, 31. That's be 40 on the damage.
All right. You see his face turn to paste as this blaster bolt penetrates his head front to back, and he falls twitching to the ground.
Nice.
So,
And in the mind of the leader one, which I'm assuming he can't really respond to this, but all I'm going to tell him is, "You're next."
okay. So he's already made his action. So, hey,
Our intrepid leader.
If Haish is your leader, then no.
Hey.
I decline.
We follow you, man. We kind of promoted you to that.
You only follow him because he flies the ship. You don't have a choice.
Ooh.
Mhm. Walking ain't crowded, is it, ladies and gentlemen? Your ass can be left here.
Mhm.
It's fine. Just as an aside, I really don't like how that's kind of the fucking truth. We wish these were jokes. All right. Thank you. I needed to laugh. Haish is gonna stand there with kind of a middle guard with his light pike, and I'm kind of gauge this last I suppose this lizard man's reaction to his companions being sorted out very, very quickly. If these have just been seconds have been passing.
Yeah.
Is he moved? What's he doing? Is he gonna?
It's hard to read his expression because the fact that the Barbells aren't known for having very expressive faces.
That's fine.
They're also known for being very vicious in general. He does not seem to be afraid is not the word for it. More cautiously guarded. That you see the way he's looked, but he's not backing off.
Oh no, he's not. I would be shocked if he was back.
Yeah, it's like he knows he's probably outclassed. He knows he's probably going to die.
But it's against him and his being to back down. He
exactly.
knows
Yeah.
he's done.
Yeah. It's almost like there's something deep in his core that says that if his brothers fell and he ran, that and probably actually, do you have alien species at all?
Hell no.
Okay.
That's Tinder.
Well, Tendrick, because you guys are cyclically linked, Tendrick would probably be thinking this because he's seeing the same thing.
I monitor his thoughts probably
So
most
if
of the
you
time
want to-
too. So
There are times though you don't want to, especially at night.
especially when Tendrick's thinking of that plant woman that we've left. Yeah.
Remember, Tindrick's been living in the city. I'm just saying.
Ah.
Oh, the Twi'lek Holovitz. You
Mhm.
found
Hey,
wait, you found Galt's stash?
you left it in my room. What do you want me to do? Can you imagine the mess I had to clean up after you left the one weekend?
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
So
Tell me
Tendrick-
about this alien species.
How
How
many
roll
dice?
for it?
How many dice do you have in alien species?
Me? Altogether, 6.
Okay, then you have enough there to roll. It is very well known about Barabels that and with what Haish knows about the feeling he got off of these being very closely related, that Barabels tend to run in what they call creches, which is they were basically hatched together.
so
They
they're
make it so if his and it's sort of a known thing that if one of their creche members falls, that they believe that if they don't kill the thing that killed it or die trying, that their version of the afterlife will basically send them to a version of like hell. So at this
Okay.
point, this guy is probably going to give his life attempting to take you guys down.
It's like a twisted form of Bushido and
Almost, yeah.
suicide bombers mixed together or some shit.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
with that, Haish is just gonna kind of like indicate the corpse that he's just sent into the void
Uh-huh.
with his chin, and he'll simply say in basic, "I'm sorry."
It growls at you. It might be something that it's hard to.
It's
but-
unintelligible, but it
Yeah.
was a response.
Yeah, it's known that Barabels can speak basic, but it's really usually very mangled because their mouths aren't really designed to speak basic.
No.
So-
Uh,
Not like Wookiees.
well,
Yeah, basically that's what Tendrix. Yeah, that's what it says. Effectively that.
um,
It basically, I think actually officially translates it to leave while having congress with yourself.
yes, of course. Hayes will just simply say, I will gladly send you into the void so you can have the afterlife you desire.
Okay.
Kneel.
Okay. It drops its vibro blade and just spreads its arms as if it's going to charge you to grapple.
He's going to impale himself on my polearm, is what's going to happen.
Yeah, you
He
got the idea.
drops, and then Hayes just brings the tip online, and it'll just go straight through his head.
So go ahead and make your attack on that because he's not going to just do it. But he is, that's sort of you basically get the idea that you saying something about kneeling might have pissed him off.
All right. Well, goodbye. That's going to be over 45.
Okay. I'll just say that, yeah, you're able to basically
It
run a lightsaber
Hayes
through his
makes
face.
it as painless as possible.
Okay. And as that
Last
happens,
kindness he gives him.
and that body falls, all of you hear this, even Glalt. You hear, I said, don't interfere. And you see a bolt of lightning come out of the sky and slam into the area where the melee is going on in the distance.
Oh, you bitch. You are not taking this from me.
As your eyes sort of clear from the dazzling of this bright light goes, and Tendric's scope re-centers, you don't see any people out there, but those 5 lightsabers are still standing there, and they're now slowly getting closer.
Yes. Hold up. Sorry, neighbors.
And Hayes, you hear in your head directly to you at this point, these are not mine.
I asked you how many were you? Are you
I
saying
am
these-
one.
And these
They are
5
many.
are.
They are the other.
Then he'll just send the wave back. Then get over here and make yourself useful.
You hear a rumble of thunder above, and it says, I am attempting to do so.
See you shortly. Hayes is going to then use battle meditation.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So, well, yes. What are you saying?
while they're walking closer, Glalt this is coming from a deep sense of anger with his master, a
Okay.
deep sense of rage
Okay.
with the fact that he got left behind.
Okay.
He is going to reach into the nearest mine and say, come closer, and bow.
Okay. Are you
Because
gonna
he
reach
just wants
towards
to
these
rip
figures?
their heads off. Yes.
Reach towards these figures? Okay. Make me an altar check.
It's going to be affect mind, so that's control sense and alter.
Okay. Okay. Make your roll. Consider all those dice and divide them by 3.
And he will actually drop his force point on this, just so you know. He
Oh,
is
okay.
enraged.
Okay. So Tendrick, what are you doing while this is going on?
Well, because even with them coming closer, the sensor is still picking up. There's actually nothing there. It's just
Yeah,
a lightsaber in midair.
Yeah, you see the lightsaber, and it's sort of like you see the outlines of the figures. It's like it flickers for a second as if it's trying to home in on something, but then it like goes back to as if it's like background noise. So you can still target them, is what I'm saying, but it's just whatever. However, they're picking up is just it's not. They're not registering as life forms, basically.
Well, even though me as the player knows this might not work, and Tindrick's actually kind of skeptical, we're going to do this the scientific way, and he's going to take a shot anyway.
Okay. So go ahead and
Because
stop, since they're doing their force powers, and we're sort of doing a narrative thing at this point.
right,
Do it.
because the way it's playing out, the
Mhm.
things with the red lightsabers coming toward us are not of the creature that Hayes has been speaking with.
That doesn't seem to be. You're not getting that sensation from him.
So logic would state that it's an enemy. So yeah, Tindrick would take a pot shot. So okay. You know what? To be a dick, Tindrick's going to aim at the hilt of the lightsaber.
Okay.
Oh.
That is going to be that's a very small target. That is going to be a -3 dice.
Okay.
So,
While he's rolling,
any target.
Glalt got a 48.3.
Okay, so 48. Okay. I will tell you what happens in a moment as everyone gets their stuff resolved.
It's what? So battle meditation is the full roll divided by 3.
Yes.
It is a 24 on Haitia's battle meditation.
Okay.
So without using the force point, I think Tindrick's had the first triple digit roll of the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I had a couple of explosions which kind of negated the -3 dice. For 102.
All right. You see that as you fire, you see this thing's lightsaber move as if it's going to try to block the blaster bolt, like as you've seen others do like that. And as it comes to block the bolt, you actually see your blaster bolt impact the lightsaber itself, and that lets her leak out.
Nice.
Now, Glalt, as you touch this thing's mind,
Yeah.
this thing's mind. First off, it's like you've reached out and like trying to touch something, and you've touched what feels like almost a slime covered marble.
Okay.
It feels dirty, and you can't get a grasp on it. You do get an impression in your mind of being in some kind of a temple or something, and you see 6 figures kneeling in black robes, kneeling around some kind of a crystal or some kind of a device. It's hard to say exactly. It's almost like something has taken and tried to merge, much like lightsabers, merge the force with technology, but it's not a very healthy emanation of the force. And you get the image of this thing being powered on for the first time, and all 6 of these figures reaching out to touch this thing. And as they do, their life force being sucked into it. And the pain is almost unbearable to the point where you actually will hit your knees. You guys see basically Glalt look like he's in severe pain.
Ooh.
As you feel the surprise of this being's mind, as if it wasn't expecting this, and you almost feel part of your soul being pulled in a direction, and you gain 1 dark side point.
Oh yeah, I'm going pretty heavy dark side these days, aren't I?
So, and you now see only what did I say? I said 5. So now there's only 4 lightsabers left out there in the dark.
That 48 was with the divided by 3. That was the total.
Yeah,
just so
I know. The thing is that there was no mind left to command.
Shit. Well,
And as these things progress closer with the light of the lights, we're not moving very fast, moving at like a walking pace. These are 5 figures in tattered robes that looks like they've been out in this swamp for a very, very, very long time. The faces and under the hoods are skeletal. There are bits and pieces of flesh hanging off of them, putrid flesh at that. And you're pretty sure that at one point you see like possibly some kind of worm or something crawl out of one of the eye sockets and up the nostril of one, like things are living in it. And you guys all get a strong feeling of dread. So will you all please roll me a control, please?
$25.
24.
All right. Well,
28.
all right. So you guys are all able to steel yourselves, but Tendrick hears from directly beside him a scream of terror. As you look at Yane, and her eyes have gotten big and she's gone very pale. And she's pointing at them and like, what is that? And she seems terrified. You actually smell urine.
It's time to murder.
Kendrick will actually look back at Yane and stay here.
Oh, she turns and runs back into the cave.
Stay at the very back.
Okay. So you guys take pot shots at these things if you want to. They're not moving fast. Yes, Lalt?
Charge and attempt to rip a head off.
Okay, so you're going to charge and attempt to go into melee. Okay.
Right.
Ace, you going to
Ace?
follow with Lalt or?
Did my battle meditation not do anything? I'm assuming not because they're dead.
Well, it's going to give your side the boost, but you basically can't really feel anything on their side. It's like either whatever it is isn't
You
there.
make that decision, or do I make that decision?
Oh, as far as the actually you can choose your. Do you want to?
The boost of the penalty?
Yeah, that's your choice. But yeah, but you do get the sensation that there, whatever is there, there's nothing to there's nothing to anchor it at.
All right, yeah, no, I'll just give us the boost then.
Okay. And how many dice was that boosted you guys for your combat?
I rolled 24, so you tell me.
I think it's 2 dice. So
Okay.
2 dice to pretty much all actions against these things.
On top of our boosts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not working
Jesus.
together, badasses.
Thank you, Haysh. You're terrifying as shit, man.
Okay. So Glalt charges in, claws bared. So you are technically unarmed against an armed opponent. So
But I have plus 5 dice to my strength with another 2, and then I have another 2 dice onto my damage thanks to Haysh.
well, remember your only way to, and now I will say this because you would know this before you charged in.
Mhm.
Okay. Normal armor does
Uh-huh.
not give you any bonuses against lightsabers,
I'm aware.
which means that your strength isn't going to soak any damage when they hit you with lightsabers.
No, but my dex will.
Your dex can make you dodge, but if you get hit, because you don't have any armor that will repel these things unless you have absorb dissipate energy, which I don't think you said you picked up, right?
Rip off the armor off that barbell and carry it.
I just pull that. Just rip the barbell armor as a
I don't
shield.
think you'd have a chance to actually like rip it
No.
off.
Damn it. Okay.
Um,
You know what? I have absolute faith in my ability to rip its head off before it hits me.
Okay, so go in and make your attack. I'm going to continue the initiative we've already had because this is still basically one long scene. So
Oh. 61.
all right, so yeah, you grab it, and you
Do I add any more dice before I start rolling damage?
No, you don't roll. You roll your damage as your whatever your strength is.
5, 6, 7, 8. I'm rolling 8 dice.
Okay.
Hold up. Claws is strength. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 dice.
Okay. There you go.
11, because I have an extra die for the claws.
Okay.
God damn. Remind me why. Remind me never to fucking mess with a whippet.
Mm-mm.
2, 4, 6. This can be 8. $45.
All right. You're able to basically use your claws to grab purchase and things this thing's head and rip it smooth off the body as it swings its lightsaber at you.
What?
Doesn't seem to care.
Goodbye, Glolt.
Make a dodge.
Hit it toward the arm off first.
Tindrick's sitting here grinning. He's just like, you're a dumbass. Oh,
Going into melee with a guy with a lightsaber without checking his hands is suicide.
and I got this. Don't cover this any level of fuck. I messed up. Does it?
Mm-mm.
Could have used your staff.
I dropped that earlier to go in with claws. Because
know.
staff is a two-handed.
Uh-huh.
20.
You're hit. Let's just put it to you that way. Luckily,
Oh.
that's five dice of damage. So, but it's not soakable by anything. So,
If I have to make another cybernetic arm,
all right. So
Can you make a cybernetic head?
you are not dead. But my question for you is,
Mhm.
which limb?
Both of his
Which
legs.
limb? Which limb?
I'd like to keep the claws, so take a leg.
Okay. So as you rip this thing's head off, it raises its lightsaber and sharps downward and actually hits you just below the hip, cutting directly through that leg
Oh.
and grazing your other one on the front. You are now at mortally wounded.
I can heal it.
Mortally wounded
Partially.
characters fall prone and are unconscious. You can't heal if you're unconscious.
God
You
damn it.
can't
No,
do
I can't.
anything until you're healed. At the end of each round, you must roll 2 dice, 2d6. If the roll is less than the number of rounds that you've been mortally wounded, you die. So
And you
where the
say-
hell is,
you
where the
see
hell is the
Walt
ship?
fall.
God damn it.
Hendrik,
All the freaking medical crap's on the ship,
And we don't know where the ship is.
and we don't know where the ship is.
Fuck.
Tindrick's just gonna take a pot shot at the next one because
All right.
He doesn't know if Galot's alive or dead, but if for some reason Galot's still alive, he doesn't want to get ganged up on. So,
Okay. Take your shot.
did it look like after the one that Galot took the head off and it swung that it expired afterwards, or is it
No.
still
It's still
upright?
standing there.
Okay. And the one that I shot the lightsaber of
Uh-huh.
isn't there anymore? Or
Oh,
is
it's
he-
there. You just there's no lightsaber.
So I like almost have to decide. Like he didn't go back and grab his lightsaber, he just left it there.
Well, basically you destroyed the lightsabers. What I was basically ruling with that shot.
Oh, okay.
So
So there's just a walking corpse there with a half a lightsaber is what he's saying.
basically
With the slagged handle, yeah.
with the slagged handle, yeah.
All right, let's see here. How many dice do I have? All right. There's gonna be a lot of rolling here in a moment. I'm actually going to burn that free force point that Galot gave me earlier.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's possible. How many shots, if I split up my dice, how many shots can I get off with this rifle in one round?
I think in most cases it's 3. If that's how fast they can a blaster rifle can fire. So you can fire 3 times.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
So that would
And
be
I'm going to aim, I'm gonna aim at the lightsabers
okay.
because I don't know what these things do melee wise, but it's gotta be less than a fucking lightsaber.
Okay.
So I'm gonna aim basically at the 3 that are probably advancing on Galot right now.
Okay.
And just for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna roll all my dice, double it, and then divide by 3, because
Right.
that's just mass simplicity right now.
Right.
Jesus. Doubled, it's still like 300, so it's like 95 a person.
Okay. So we'll say that you ping each of the lightsabers. I'm not gonna make you roll for damage for them. Because there's no way they can repel that, even with their unless they explode like 7 times each. With their they basically try to ward off the blasts, but the you hit each lightsaber hilt of the 3, leaving only one with a lightsaber out there.
Get him, Haish.
Okay. And with that haste, they do stop at Glalt, and the one with the lightsaber you see is moving towards Glalt. And it's almost like a very ritualistic motion, the way they're circling around Glalt.
Hazel just go, you there.
You feel their attention on you. Oh, and by the way that you perceive them in with your foresight, usually people you see have like a slight whitish blue shade to them for the most part. Mostly
If they're Sith, they should be glowing red.
They're angry red. They're deep angry red,
I'm
their
aware of what
core-
a Mira Lucas sees when it comes
but their
to Sith
core is
Wrestling.
black.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Okay, so concentration, battle meditation, Glult's boost.
Mhm.
I'm missing another one. I've got 4 boosts here. I'm sitting at about 24 die plus
Okay.
1 for lightsaber right now.
Go kick
Does-
their ass, Anakin.
Don't. That's actually more of an insult than you actually say.
It really is. It really is.
Sorry, I was thinking about the best Jedi Master I could think of.
Ha! You're.
So-
That's cute. That's actually really cute.
Just call him Jar Jar then.
Yeah. Fuck off next time.
That's less of an insult at least.
I'm assuming the one that's still armed has turned to me and we've squared off.
Yeah, he basically has turned to you and stepped to the front of the group. So
This is Haish's first actual fight with another Jedi, so to speak. So he's gonna do the Japanese thing and state his name and essentially his lineage. Kind of like take a few steps out there, wide foot stance, and basically take a middle guard. This thing can't respond unless it's in his head. So
Right.
for the sake of the audience, it's just the wind and the storm and two guys about to throw down. We can refer to this as the duel in the swamp of Trinta. And does this entity respond any way it can?
you see this the lightsaber sort of lift in the almost like in a, you're not sure if it's like an actual salute to you or a mockery of your salute. It's hard to say exactly.
Oh, that in a very Japanese way. That's very, very rude. Yeah, no, even amongst Sith, they would be hard boiled with their own culture to salute, regardless if it's if he thinks it's even if he doesn't mean it, he has to. That's what Haish is gonna assume. And I'm gonna murder this guy. Oh, yes. Okay, hang on here. Hang on, Keith.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry. The D6 systems are brought to an ass grinding halt when it
That
comes
is,
to.
yeah. When you start getting into large numbers, yes, there is that.
I'm sorry to everyone who's watching.
But it makes for really nice stories after the fact.
It does. It really does. So
Can he answer a 96?
no.
Then Haish is okay. Shall I describe the how graceful Haish is as a wizard of a lightsaber duelist?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me
Uh,
how you hit him.
We square off.
Mhm.
There's the weather, the lightning, the rain, and it's just pelting the side of a corpse's face. Maybe a caterpillar falls out of his fucking nose. And Haish just basically his response is as the hair and the rain and the water. And there's a lightning flash. There is Haish is there lit up with his golden lightsaber with the lightning flash. And before the lightning flash dissipates, he vanishes. And with one stroke, he appears on the other side of this undead Sith. What he has done, almost in like this bullet time sequence, he's lunged forward. There's 1, 2, 3. He's brought the light pike in, and he's actually, what he's done, he's actually pushed the blade of the red lightsaber just offline and down, so where his point went up above the thing's head, and he has smote this Sith adept on his lightsaber side, coming down through the shoulder, through the collarbone, about down to where his navel would be. And then with that cut, Heish will then sidestep and then drag with his whole body weight the thing through, and then step to where he's made actually this Z arc sear as the lightsaber. The Sith will probably, with the force of the wind and being struck, he'll probably half turn, bend over slightly, as the right arm, the sword arm, will topple one way, and the Sith will probably take another step forward, and maybe there's a little bit of humanity left in this thing, maybe in just a fiber, where he'll come up with the other hand and touch the score mark before he'll disintegrate there into the mud.
So yes, that does happen as the lightsaber passes through this body. It doesn't feel like you're passing through a actual body. It's like you're passing through a collection of a corpse, basically. The scent of this thing is not
mud.
Yeah, the scent is not good. It is something that you would hopefully never experience again in your life. The body does fall to multiple pieces, but the lightsaber stays lit,
Oh,
and
there you go.
the arm rises as if it's going to try to strike as well, but nothing to direct it. And the other body parts begin writhing and moving, as if there is still whatever is controlling these things are still trying to make them operate as an effective thing, but it's disjointed to the point that it's not effective.
So, all right, Heish is out of range with the turn. He's gonna turn around, probably go over to where this arm is and step on the wrist,
Mhm.
probably like, and he's gonna wait until probably he's put enough pressure on the fingers to where they'll like open.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll
Well-
wait. He'll watch it for a few moments, like with this expression, like, "You gonna let go?"
Well,
And when
you
it
already
does,
think so.
he'll pry the lightsaber out of the fingers and just be like, "All right, corpses."
As you step on it, this thing does not let go. You literally have to put enough weight on it to actually break the fingers.
Oh well, he will
So
then.
what-
But that'll be. He'll be waiting and continually putting pressure there.
All right. And you're gonna pick up the lightsaber?
With his cybernetic hand,
Okay.
with the gloved hand. There's no skin contact.
Thank you.
He is
I had to make sure.
too
Dang it.
I
superstitious.
had to make sure.
Way
Dang it,
too
Heish.
So-
You should have
superstitious.
gone for picking it up.
So we're going to move to Glalt. Glalt. You are, well, first off, roll your 2d6.
Eight.
What did you- Okay, you're good. In the darkness of unconsciousness,
Mhm.
you feel a presence. It slides against your mind, almost like the sensation of a fish under dark water. Maybe a fish. It could be a fish. You're not sure, but it's that sort of sends shivers up your body of what is this feeling sliding against your mind. And then you see these four figures, because the fifth has been Heish is dealing with at the moment. And off in the distance, another one. And these four figures seem to be chanting in your mind in some language that you're not sure of. And you see one of them reaching down to touch you in your mind, like where you're at.
Mhm.
At which point, I need you to make me a control check.
Fuck. At least that's my best skill. I got this. For once, I got this.
How's that?
Please roll well.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna be 7 dice. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
All right. You're able to beat it, hold off barely because it rolled low. But you actually feel this thing, it almost feels like it's trying to grab you, the core of what is you, and like slide past you. It's almost like someone is trying to take off your a coat or a cloak and trying to slide into it while it's taking it off of you.
Real quick.
Yes.
Since this is happening in the force,
Yes.
can I actually respond to that?
Yes. What are you going to respond to? How are you going to respond to it?
I'm actually going to see if I can pull it and isolate it from them.
What do you mean? Like try to grab it?
Well, they're trying to pull me out. I'm going to try to return the favor.
Oh, you're going to try. Okay.
Tug of war.
Make me an alter check.
Oh, that's much better. I have 4 dice and I got 3 6s and a 3.
Okay.
And the 6 was a wild die. So 18, 19,
Well,
20,
there you go.
21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26.
All right. You get into a basically like an astral wrestling match with this thing. And you get the sensation that it's very upset with you for trying to do this. And we'll come back to that here in just a moment.
It don't mess with the force users.
You, as you're staying there, Haish, you're the closest to seeing this. You see the image of one of these figures in your mind's eye, almost flowing down into Glault. The red sort of wrapping itself around the form of Glault laying there. And you see the red and the glowing blue of Glault sort of intermingling and swirling around each other.
Okay. Oh, come on, Haish, don't do that. I'm trying to figure out the words that I want to use to
Okay.
describe this next thing. Can I make a scholar test? I'm sorry, Haish is a nerd. He reads too much and doesn't spend near as enough time with other people as he probably should.
Okay.
Would I hang on? Okay, let me just let me reword this. Would Haish know without making a test that he can use injure kill on an apparition?
You can try it. So
No, I mean, would you tell me yes or no that he would know if I pass on a scholar test? That's what I'm asking.
there's not really much of any I will say this with what you do know, because of the earlier scholar roll that you made, the only way that these Sith apparitions were defeated back in the day was by the direct use of the Force as a weapon.
Here's my next question. Is Haish that vicious?
Is he? That's not a question I can answer.
That was I'm sorry, Keith. That was more rhetorical, but thank you.
Well, I was going to say, one of your brothers is down. If there's one thing that Haish is super passionate about and will kill someone over,
it's
is
family.
family.
Now, here's my next thing. And this is pretty rhetorical. It's going to be mostly between Lynx and I for a moment.
Okay.
Lynx. So
Yeah.
we my dear brother and I fled our home, and we ended up in the Ord Mantell system. And you were a bodyguard for Haysh, still thinks to this day is just a crime lord. A lesser crime lord that owns a casino. That's what Haysh thinks.
Expensive casino.
Hey, we didn't say that. It's just there's money there. There is money. And the way Haysh believes the situation developed is Glalt found kindred spirits with Tindrick and I, and he's thrown his lot in with us being,
Oh, yeah.
I suppose, I'll carry on my wayward son. Thank you, Kansas. Kind of sort of lifestyle.
Yep.
We shacked up with a monastery of Buddhist monks, call them what they are. We learned, we fought, we're killers. I think at this point, in Haysh's heart of hearts, Glalt is family at this point. He doesn't get to spend very much time with Glalt, and we know how passionate Haysh is about family, and I think there's my answer right there. Now, Haysh will, yeah, no, I'm gonna use injured kill on this.
Tindrick wanted to say something real quick.
Let's hear
Haysh,
it.
I will say this just to push the point home. You gave Glot a room on your ship.
Yeah, no, and Haysh does not share his
if-
space well at all.
If nothing else, that
yeah.
should be the solidifying moment in your mind.
And if
I was trying to avoid that, but thank you.
hey, and if all else fails, you're gonna lose your free lint rollers, your free little lint collectors in the dryer from Galt's hair.
yeah, right.
But anyway, moving on.
All right.
you are gonna
Injure
see-
kill is alter, right?
Injured kill is alter, yes. So which one are you going to attack with it?
The one that's trying to Haysh in his mind thinks that this thing is trying to possess him.
Okay.
So I am with the intention trying to strangle the life and the light out of whatever this thing is.
Okay. So make your attack.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's actually pretty good. That's a straight 30 on the die here.
All right. You lash it with force powers. I'm not gonna make you get a dark side point for this one because you're not using it against a living thing.
I'm also using it in self-defense.
Yeah, defensive.
Say that out loud.
You do in your specific vision see this like almost like a blast slam into this red light, and bits of it sort of shred off as if it was just hit by a pretty good sized bolt of energy, like a blaster bolt or something like that. And you do see it recoil and become less. Glalt, what you see from your perspective is this thing is wrestling with you. You feel it shudder, and it seems to get a bit less. And it almost starts to struggle in your grip, as if you have it, but at the same time you're feeling rage, and you're feeling all the negative things that you've had to do to survive sort of rise up as memories, and that primal self that you had to be after you were abandoned starts coming to the fore. And then you hear over your right shoulder, "Be at peace, Padawan." It's Master Crux voice. And you feel a hand on your shoulder on that side. And as your vision sort of looks to that side, you see him there very clear. It's obvious, and at the same time, you see him there, but you also see him far away at the temple, somewhat in a meditative position. The other masters there with him, they have their hands on his shoulder as if maybe they're assisting him in some way. And then as you're looking at him, you see just beyond him another hand come out and touch his shoulder, which you've heard tales of this figure. You never met this person because they died before you became a Padawan, but it was Master Lilith Two Seas, Crux Master. And then beyond him, what seems to go back into a, maybe it's hard to say how far they go, but you hear Crux say, and it's almost echoed by the others, "We're with you."
Yeah. I may be upset at him, but I'm not that upset.
So the question is do you, and on the other side, you have this rage boiling up in you, this animalistic, desire to rend something weaker. Which do you turn to?
Oh, that is hard. Because on one hand, Glault's been angry for so long.
Mhm.
Just so much hatred and rage at everything. At his master, at all the people, at everybody who's hurt him.
Mhm.
And he's got a fair number of dark side points. He's up to 4. He's
Right. That's why there's a choice to be made here.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I think I'm gonna let a D10 decide.
D10 or a D6?
D10.
Okay.
1 to 4, he goes down. 4 and up, he stays.
Okay.
Because it's a choice that I, as Glault,
Mhm.
logically actually can't make because it is so hard. Gonna get my favorite D10 for this too.
Mhm.
Decision maker. Always has
Okay.
been.
Okay.
2.
Okay. So you are ignoring the pull of the Jedi for that side at the moment. Okay.
Because as much as they're there, as much as he's suddenly there, I feel like I need that rage more to fight against this thing.
Okay. All right. So outside of Glault, see, Haish is already gone. Tendrick, you're seeing this these figures sort of cluster around Glault there. You saw Haish just destroy one of them and put it at his feet. But you're getting a bad feeling. Literally, this is I got a bad feeling about this moment.
Is it pinpointed in at any certain event? Or is it just
Whatever's happening with Glault, you're having that your mind is being drawn to that. Something there is going badly.
well? Well, here's how Tindrick's going to see this. He's been playing range support this entire fight.
Mhm.
Glault is currently down.
Mhm.
Haish is dealing with things there.
Mhm.
Tindrick still sees the other ones up.
Mhm.
So in his mind, he cannot go down to help Glault until the threat's over with. So he doesn't know anything about, like, he knows these things aren't completely there, but they are. And yeah, he knows Haish just did some really cool force shit probably and just it basically obliterated this thing. Tindrick doesn't have access to that. So he's going to keep trying to do what he's been doing. But like he saw Hayes take down the one, chop into pieces, but still saw it like functioning.
Yeah.
So his mind's going to one of two things. Either we take out the brain,
Yeah.
or we take out the heart. He already saw Galalt pull the head off of one and it still kept going. So to him, that negates taking out the brain part. So he's actually, I'm going to try and make 2 shots here.
Okay.
That's actually why I asked the question earlier, but I know you were dealing with that. If I take 2 shots,
Mhm.
can I change the target on my second shot based on the results of the first one?
Yes.
Okay. So what he's going to do is just one, the other one's around, because he's not going to do the one that's right, like in between Hayes and
Yeah.
Galak that Hayes was messing with. Just because it's too close to his brothers. He's going to take a shot at one of the other ones. He's going to aim for as close to what he would assume the heart would be on these things. And then we're going to see what the result of that is, and then I'll take my second shot from there.
Okay.
You want me to do a negative of that because it's a called shot?
Yeah, you're already are going to have a -1 because you're doing 2 shots, making an additional -2 for a total of -3.
Okay. It's going to be a 45. I just did all the dice. I'm just going to split them in half. So
Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that 45 will definitely hit exactly where you're firing at.
Yep.
I will tell you, you see the blaster bolt penetrate and pieces basically rip a hole in the center of this thing, but it does not seem to care. It's like it's almost like you're getting the idea that physical attacks don't really matter to them.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well, in that case, just because he's still going to take 2 shots and he's at range, he'll actually aim basically for like the pelvis
okay,
to see if he can't shear off one of the legs or something to basically make it so it can't move.
I'll go ahead and say you because you already rolled the one, and we'll just say that's be the same for both. If
It
you
would have been
want.
45 for the other. It was a 90
you
total.
Yeah,
so.
you basically shatter the pelvis, and the thing does collapse to the ground. So, but
Right.
it's still sort of it struggles to right itself up with pieces missing and whatnot.
Right.
Hayes, you feel a presence to your right hand side. And Tendrick, you sort of see this shimmer too, right beside Hayes. And it's Stas Ali, standing there. Plain as day, looks at you, looks down at Glault and says, "You have to help Glault. Reach out."
She's showing herself to the entire group.
So she's showing herself specifically to you, but she seems to be Tendrick can see a shimmer in the air, like a light form. And yes, in the scope, it is not there. So
I like the other apparitions.
okay. Yeah.
All right.
Is reach out to Glault. Glault needs you.
Well, all right then. That I honestly thought that's what Hayes was actually doing to begin with. But I will use projective telepathy then.
Okay.
Kind of push my way into that. So he's got some backup in there. That is a 28.
So you find yourself with this, you see like you're on a like a windswept frozen planet of something. Place is absolutely terribly cold here. And you see Glault, not as you see Glault now, but Glault as maybe like a gangly teenager, wrestling with some kind of beast and tearing at it like he is a beast. And you see sort of all around him these images of these different Jedi, including Master Kruk. And through him, you can sort of sense Mistress Jade through him, not like she's there, but she's not there. And they sort of look at you and say, and look at Glault and they say, we're losing him.
Oh, come on, Hayes, don't be like that. In the typical eldest brother of his household fashion, with his light pike still there, he actually looks at Stas. And what is actually her the expression on her face? He is actually defaulting to her because technically he is her Ben Kenobi.
She is looking, look on her face is both saddened and almost desperate. And she's, you guys, she's one of her in this state, she looks real, as if she's standing next to you physically, just as you saw her
Just
last.
like the last I saw her on.
And you see
Dantooine.
her hand sort of reaching towards Glault, like as if she wants to touch Glault, but then her hand closes as if she's saying, I can't do it. Type of a deal, and looks at you almost with pleading eyes. Yeah.
I look her in the eye the way a Miraluka can, and he says, I do this thing because it is just.
Okay.
I am not a Jedi, but I do this thing because it is just. And he'll actually stomp over to this thing. Like there. So from Glault's perspective, the young whippet that he is, he's probably tearing at this thing with claws, underdeveloped teenage claws. His beard near as long as it probably should be, and just over this melee, you'll see just for a second Haitia's malevolent older brother look on his face.
Yeah.
And with whatever you want me to roll, Keith, I'm gonna do it. But he reaches down with his actual biological hand, reach down, and his intention is to grab this thing by its collar, up and over, throw the thing on the ground, and stomp on its throat.
Okay. You don't
and
have to
hold
make
it
any,
there pinion.
you don't have to make any rolls. Glault,
Mm-hmm.
you see this. You have been lost in that memory of being on that ice planet. And
Alright.
this thing was prey to you. You suddenly see Hayes standing there along with all the rest. You see Stas Ali behind him, which I'm not sure if you knew Stas Ali or not. And he throws this thing away from you, and it looks like it's on its last leg, like a shredded prey animal of some type in your mind. It is going to give you a chance to, if you want to re-roll that roll. Or just pounce on the prey, your choice, however you want to do that. But you do see all these other Jedi sort of standing around you going,
What
looking
Glault
at you.
is going to do, he's going to take the middle path now that he's kind of been snapped out of it.
okay,
Because now he can actually see there's a middle path between both options.
okay,
He's not light, he's not evil. But
okay,
Hayes showed him a middle path just now.
okay. What's he going to do?
He's going to look at the creature that's near dead, that he's almost killed.
Yeah.
and say that I know you need a form. You can't take mine. But if you want to share your memories so that they may live on, I'll take them.
Okay. You see the thing, and Hayes sees this too in Galt's mind. It sort of looks at Galt and hisses, and then starts to scamper into a crack as if trying to get away. So you gonna go for it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I played
Okay.
nice.
So Hayes, you're seeing this. You're seeing Galt lunge for this thing. What's your play at this point?
It's his dreamscape.
Okay.
Haish will, more than likely, he will dismiss himself.
Okay. So as you lunge, you see Hayes sort of turn away from you to as if he's going away.
Mm-hmm.
Your claws dig into this thing, sort of like the back leg of it, and rip it and shred it, but you can't quite get into this crack to it as it gets away. And as this thing sort of blurs away, you sort of fall back into the general normal unconsciousness.
So there was no chance to use telekinesis, which I do have, to drag it out of that crack.
No, there's nothing to
Okay.
grab onto. You may reach out and flail towards it, but there's nothing to grab onto in there. It just as you're, as that goes, you guys are actually seeing Galt's body sort of twitch, as if like in a bad dream, possibly.
As it flees, I'll just tell it, I gave you a chance
Okay.
to continue to live in some way, and you betrayed me.
And from the outside perspective, now that Hayes comes back and Tendrick can see this, as Tendrick is moving down to where these things are, you see Tendrick sees that figure next to Hayes, that sort of glowing image. As you get close enough, you actually do see it. You do sort of make out the image of Stasa Lee, which you remember. She looks over her shoulder at you with sort of a sad look, then looks back, holds her hands up, and this light just bursts out from her. And you see these, and Hayes comes back to this bright light, and you see these remaining figures, one sort of crawling off as if it's scampering across the ground as if it's missing parts, and the other ones just sort of get blown away as if they're leaves in the wind. And then you see the figure of Stasa Lee sort of wink out. So.
How close is the one trying to scamper away?
Oh, it once the light goes out, they all seem to be gone. The bodies, actually, the ones that were active, still connected, just fall to the ground.
Hmm.
And Hayes shares in his mind, who's that? Almost like a, ooh, do you toy?
Not if you want to live.
Ooh, oh, it's gone. I'll have hell to pay with those. But
Who
for
was
now,
that?
they were here before me. They don't listen to me.
So I'm assuming it's the entity that Haish has been speaking to.
Yeah.
Is it showing itself to us? What is
No,
it?
it's just like as if he's somewhere else contacting you, like almost like he's doing projective telepathy to you.
Come out of the shower, the shadows, you coward.
I can't. You have to come to me.
I'm not going on a wild goose chase all over
You get
this
that
planet for
image.
you.
You get that image of a tree again.
Useless thing.
I'm here.
Where is it in relationship to us?
He actually, You
No,
almost,
I'm talking to Keith,
Yeah.
the game master here. This
um,
isn't in character.
you get this feeling that it's if you continue back up the escarpment past the caves, it's probably maybe 1.5 kilometers or 2 kilometers away, maybe at most.
I'm gonna look at Tindrick and say, are you able to patch that?
You actually see your mom come running out of the cave above.
Not
As these
really
things get
paying attention, but I'm speaking to
Oh.
Tindrick here.
Okay. Let you know.
Are you able to patch this?
I mean, I got a couple bandages, but we gotta get them back to the ship.
We
And
don't
actually-
know where the ship is.
I know. And actually, as Yane comes out, Tindrick will actually look to her and you don't have
Okay.
any med packs in that cave of yours, do you?
She holds up a med pack as she comes running out.
There we go.
My last one.
Stay here. I have business to attend to. And hey, Shiz, he's gonna go find that tree.
Okay.
We cannot stay here any moment longer. So
Mm.
if Haish has to have his own scene, then Haish has to have his own scene. It is what we're doing.
As you climb up the escarpment, you feel it being drawn back up to that perch above the cave where you struck down those first three figures.
Mhm.
And as you get there, your eyes are cast across this almost a plateau above the rest of the swamp, and you see distinctively as this storm is dissipating above you, and the moonlight finally starts bathing the ground. You see this off in the distance. You see this image of a broad black tree.
Just for the sake of his own botany, what species of tree could it possibly be?
It's hard to say.
Oh, I see your background now. Excuse me.
It's
Holy
hard to
kind.
say.
Shiv.
Looks like a
It may have
gnarled
at one-
Methuselah.
it may have at one time been any of the many trees you've experienced here, but whatever has affected it has caused it to grow well beyond the proportions that are normal. You could very easily see it rising up above any other trees in the area. And its twisted nature is almost defies categorization.
Fair.
You also get a very strong feel of dread from it.
Haish doesn't care at this point. He is well versed in this planet's patterns and its different flow, that anything that he feels, he knows it's not his own emotions at this point.
Yeah.
But he'll march into the midst of that thing,
Okay.
and he'll say, I am here.
As Haish leaves, Yane looks at Tendrick and says, "Go with your brother. We'll need you. I'll take care of Galt."
Sure.
Yeah. I got a blaster. She holds up her blaster pistol.
Sorry, I'm not there, but there is a distant snort of derision. No, you can't help.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think, okay, just between Tindrick and Haish, the tone that he used was a tone of finality.
Mhm.
You are my younger brother. You will do what you're told.
Well,
I don't know if it's honestly, it's up to Tindrick to disobey, but that's he knows his brother well enough to it's probably for his own good that he doesn't see what's about to happen.
Right. But at the same time, mom told me to go.
And I'm your older brother.
Right. But like if anyone's going to be able to supersede my older brother's command, it's going to be mom's sound or something.
Mom chose the Rebel Alliance instead of her sons. I am your older brother.
all right.
Oh.
All right.
We could have this family debate if we wanted, but
We could.
Meanwhile, there's Whippet bleeding out.
No, just
Um,
it's up to Tindrick, but all right.
shut up. All right, this is how it's gonna go down. Kendrick's gonna look. Well, he's gonna see Hayes run off. He's gonna see the general direction that Hayes ran off to.
Yeah.
He's gonna start patching up Gwalt. Mom's gonna come over and say, "You go with him," and Tinder's gonna look at Yane and be like, "I will go once I know he's not gonna bleed out and die on me."
With the I did a roll for Yane for applying the med pack.
I have first aid as well if you need a
Okay,
assist.
that's fine. If you want to do a roll real quick, we can add the average them.
I got 25.
Okay. Between the two of you, you're able to stabilize Gwalt, and Gwalt, you'll now move from mortally wounded to what's called wounded twice, which just means that you have -2 dice, but you do come conscious. You do see him come conscious. You see Tindrick and Yane above you. You definitely are hurt.
It feels great. You've never felt better.
Yeah.
Never.
It's a great day to be alive.
It is.
I know the sun's still, well, the sun's not shining. That doesn't fit.
All right.
The moon's rose. So,
Gloat will start healing himself and say, "Where's Haish?"
He went to go take care of it.
And you're not there.
and mom looks, you haven't left yet.
You
You're
know
still
he's
not-
going to kick my ass if I go run after him, right?
You're not.
Do you
You're
want
not.
me to kick your ass?
And she's like, you're not too big for you to bend you over my knee, young man.
As- and as she's saying that,
Don't ask
That's it.
her.
That's it. I'm sorry, Hayes. I'm sorry, but that overrides anything you could do.
A mother threatens her adult son, a fully grown man, adult son with a spanking. Sorry, mom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hayes,
And
I love you,
What
brother.
you're not gonna
but,
do is talk back to mom.
Yep. Hayes, I love you, but you can smack me with the cybernetic hand later if you really want to. But
and
I'm coming for you.
as you're running out of the cave, I'll take care of her. I ripped the head off, remember?
Speaking of which, that head is like she's laying next to your body, and it looks rancid. It may literally makes literally turns your stomach looking at this thing.
In the midst of the undead tree.
So, what I'm going to do, because it is approaching, actually, right at 11 o'clock tonight. is
No.
I'm going to call for closing soliloquies tonight. Because,
No.
Mainly because I don't want to get into 2 more hours of this with what happens to the tree.
Oh.
So, hey, as you are one more week to anticipate. As you are very determinedly stalking towards this tree, and it is getting closer and closer, what do we see in your mind and your thoughts of what have occurred tonight?
Outwardly, Haish is pretty determined, as you say. Inwardly, Haish is tranquil and calm. He is kind of forming himself into a psychological or an emotional battering ram that will, quite honestly, grind whatever other threats here on this planet to dust, if need be. I would not say that he's entirely tunnel visioned. He is not. He's not immune to being influenced here, but he, with his, I suppose, his active meditation that he has going on into this fight, he's going to be taking note of influences coming in are going to be accepted, cataloged, and allowed to pass, because they are not his thoughts, they are not his emotions. At this moment in time, he is a rock that cannot be moved. He thinks that this entity that they've been dealing with is simply a trickster that just simply deserves to be dealt with, sorted out, or just, and again, just another obstacle for him to pit himself against. He's taken on a mindset of being a duelist and perfecting himself, and anything that comes his way is just another test. If he dies or if he falls, so be it. He will become one with the force, the way everything needs to realize. There is no loss, there is no pain besides the pain of life and existence and consciousness. He's kind of in this, Trinta has very much taught him that he doesn't have anything to lose, and the only thing in his way is his own attachment to the material things in this world. So I don't know if that itself is a form of enlightenment, but he accepts these things, which as a martial artist makes him incredibly dangerous. So he steps into the midst of this tree, probably with its gnarled branches, probably seemingly tries to reach for him to snuff out his light, but these again are illusions. It cannot do anything to him. So he'll stand there in the glow of his lightsaber and say again, I am here. Show me what you have.
And as we'll travel back from Haish as he approaches the tree, and Tindrick, as he's hurrying to acquiesce to his mother's wishes of going with his brother, we'll see him standing before this tree. What do we see in Tindrick's mind at that moment?
Tindrick, now that kind of like the battle adrenaline has worn off a little bit, inside he's a little shaken up at dealing with those apparitions. He's heard stories, he's seen things, but he never had to deal with something that could not be stopped by mundane means before now. And it honestly kind of freaks him out a little bit. Because he saw what that rifle in his hands can do, and he saw what his brother could do with the lightsaber, and to see those things still move after that would shake a normal man to his core. So like outwardly he's been very calm, he's been very in control of his emotions. That breath, those breathing exercises he's been doing since he took that first shot has been kept in force, but inside he's getting a little bit paranoid. As he gets upon this tree and he sees this tree, it honestly doesn't frighten him as much as it probably should. and it doesn't frighten him as much as those Sith apparitions did. Because as far as he can tell, this is whole, this is physical, this is something that can be dealt with hopefully by mundane means. And also with the rate that his brother went running off this thing, he's hoping in his mind and in his heart that they are reaching the goal of why they came here to begin with, besides getting Yane. And so it's, if he doesn't see Hayes, or even if he does see Hayes, he will actually use the focal point of the tree, and he'll actually stay there for a moment or two, and he'll actually use it to refocus both inwardly and outwardly. Otherwise, he's also fueled by the fact that his mom wants to spank him if he doesn't go find his brother. So there's that too.
Okay. All right. So, and we then travel back across the surface there to where Glault is being tended by Yane, who is through surprisingly strong arms and back, has helped Glault back to the cave. What do we see in Glault's mind as he's this med pack is strapped to the stump of his leg, and after all he's been through?
You see him realizing he was an idiot. That's the biggest thing that crosses his mind. That he was filled with hubris, that he thought he could take on a lightsaber with just his claws, just because his brothers could. That he needs to admit that sometimes he can't be the one to rush in there and do everything on his own. He needs help. And that he's wondering one big thing though. Where did that thing slither off to in his mind?
He's not sure. But you do feel its presence somewhere in there. A darkness deep down, hiding in old memories and dreams, slithering somewhere just below consciousness.
And that's all.
So as we see Galt being tended there, we pull back, and the scene goes dark for a moment. And then it begins to brighten just slightly. We find ourselves in a chamber. It looks unimaginably ancient. The walls may once have been covered with murals and mosaics that have been crumbled and destroyed by vines and roots that have intertwined themselves along the walls, making the place look almost organic. Though the floor tiles show that at some point it had the hand of sentience had shaped this place. This is no natural cave. The place is lit by a very dim red glow. And we see shadows flicker in from a passageway and into it looks to be almost the twisting center taproot of a tree. And in between the cracks of these, where the roots wind around, there's a large knot about halfway down from the ceiling to the floor. And as these things pass in, that red glow flares a bit, not allowing you to see exactly what's there, but something is definitely there. Some object of malevolence deep within the root of this possible tree. We hear, not with our minds, but with our ears, a laugh, as a raspy voice, one that sounds as if it desperately needs a drink. They drove you back, huh? I told you, don't interfere. As the camera moves to the back wall, where a figure seems to be pinned to the wall, the root systems winding around the arms and legs of a figure, its brown robes hanging in tatters about it. Its face skeletal, drawn, but still intelligent. A pair of green eyes stare out from this face as it looks at this glowing pulse in the center and says, "They'll free me. Just wait. They'll free me. I know they will. You can't stop them. One's a Jedi. I know. I felt it. I sensed it. I know it's masters. I know it's masters. You tried, but you didn't. You didn't. No, you didn't. You're weak." As this thing begins to almost, once again, laugh almost maniacally. And as we pull back and this thing laughs and such, the darkness swirls around us and we find ourselves flying up above that dark gnarled tree as we see Haish and Tendrick approach it. And our curtains close on one more episode of Star Wars Shadows of Darkness. 2 more weeks, folks, and we will see what our intrepid heroes can do against this darkness they finally discovered the heart of. And with that, may the force be with you and good night.